Hi guys and welcome. My name is Joanne. Those are new to my channel. I am a stay-at-home mum of two. I have a 2.5-year-old and an almost 1.5-year-old. And today's video, by the title, is all about my postpartum hair loss. So let's get into it. I've taken a bunch of notes, so apologies if I keep looking down, but I have mum brain, so I have forgotten some things. So let's go back to the beginning. Now, I am a mum. I am not a hair expert. I am not a doctor or a specialist. This is just my journey and experience with postpartum hair loss. I had it very severe with both my children. I had extreme bald patches and a very bad receding hairlines. So my first pregnancy, I actually had hair loss throughout the pregnancy. No one really questioned it or anything about it. I assumed it was just part of the process. I did breastfeed my first son, exclusively breastfed, and at about the 4-month mark is when my hair started falling out. Now, hair loss, postpartum hair loss is a hormonal thing. I don't know the details about it. There's lots of research you can do on it, but I do know that you do get postpartum hair loss. So I wasn't too concerned about it. But after a few weeks, I had clumps of hair. It felt like clumps of hair coming out. Now, I have fine hair, but a lot of it. And in the shower, or just touching my hair like this, I would get like strands and strands of hair coming out. And it did really scare me. With my first, I also had all across here and all through here falling out, to the point where I don't have photos. I wish I did take them back then, but I was actually so self-conscious. I kept wearing hats and just didn't want to be in photos, which looking back makes me a little bit sad, but I was so self-conscious of how bad my hair was. I think looking back, I think because you know how much hair is going down the plug hole or how much you brush your hair and then put in the bin, you're more aware of it than others. Because my husband said that he didn't really notice a massive hair loss, but I did. So for me with my son, my first pregnancy, my first postpartum hair loss experience, it was all this area through here, mainly around here and down through the lines here. And I did get it sort of spread out. I don't know if you call that T-zone, I'm not too sure. So with my first one, I actually went out and purchased some hair extensions. That's how self-conscious I got. I used to get like I am still sick. I used to get a pretty good ponytail, and it literally went down so tiny, it actually upset me. So I went out and got some tapered hair extensions put in. They worked pretty well. I also tested out the Halo hair extension, and I also had clip-in hair extensions. They worked really well to give me like a thicker feeling hair, but because my hair loss is all around here, pulling your hair back, which you do when you breastfeed or bottle feed, so the kids don't pull at your hair, I still had those marks coming through. I did go to my GP and have a chat to her about it. I had a different GP with my first son. We lived in Sydney, and she said it was just part of the process. I had to go see a few hairdressers and they say, yep, it's part of the process. I was on the higher end of the hair loss, but it was all just part of it. Now, I did try a couple of hair products. I didn't really see a result. I did think at one stage it was alopecia, the hair loss condition that you can get where you literally lose your hair. Mine was growing back, so I kept getting reinforced by my hairdresser, don't worry, it grows back, it grows back. So hair loss started at the 4 months and started growing back at around the 10 month. Now, I don't know what's worse, watching your hair fall down the plug hole when you're having a shower, the bald patches, because I had bald patches, or when the hair starts growing back and all around here it just sticks out like horns, and my hair is dead straight, and my postpartum hair loss started going back with like waves in it. So I had these little short stubby hairs that were almost curly. Don't know. Now I'm going to move on to my second pregnancy. My second pregnancy, I was actually diagnosed with hypothyroidism and I had to take medication. My second pregnancy, I did not get hair loss. I got beautiful, thick, luscious hair. Now, I can never go back and check or look or question, but deep down inside, I do question if I did have that same thyroid issue with my first pregnancy and I was misdiagnosed because I had the hair loss back then, which is a symptom of hypothyroidism. Anyway, let's get to it. So again, second pregnancy, beautiful, luscious hair. Hair was growing nice and thick. I loved it. And then my daughter was born about 4 months into my breastfeeding postpartum journey. The hair loss started. Now, second time round, I knew what to expect. So I was more equipped, more prepared, and more resilient to spend money on hair care products, hair extensions, because hair extensions, they do damage your hair, and that's just delaying the process of having your healthy hair back to normal. So the second time round, I decided not to do any type of hair extensions. I actually had my hair cut quite short, and the hairdresser that I go to now, we don't live in Sydney anymore, she actually said, cutting your hair short, it'll make the ends feel nice and clean, and as more your hair grows back. So my son's postpartum hair loss is currently sitting about here, and my daughter's is about up here. But by having the shorter hair, my hair's growing back through, and I'm not having long hair and then regrowth here. So she was really good about it. I have avoided getting my hair colored. So my daughter is now 15 and a half months, and I've had my hair colored twice since being pregnant with her. So I've really focused on just avoiding chemicals in my hair. I try and let my hair dry naturally. I'm very gentle with my hair, and my hairdresser said the best thing that you can do, and I thank my husband for it because he done it a few times and I would just do it some nights, is literally sit there and massage your hair. Hair follicles are stimulated by the blood vessels. This is what my hairdresser told me. And it stimulates hair growth. So by massaging your head, you're stimulating the hair follicle, which by increased blood flow, and you're helping your hair to grow. There is no product that I found or that I have been told of that will make your hair grow from postpartum hair loss. It is just a process your body goes through. Birthing can be quite traumatic on the body, and as you guys know, once you birth your beautiful baby, your body releases hormones, which brings in your milk to feed, and which almost kicks you into like a mummy mode, because we know that there is no manual to being a parent, but your instincts just kick in. So all those hormones are kind of doing their job. So the postpartum hair loss is part of that process. So second time around with my hair loss, I actually started styling my hair differently. So with my son, I kept pulling it back out of my face, and you would literally see massive, like I'm talking, I don't know, 2 inches back, and I had no hair, none. So second time around, I started styling my hair with a part, pulling it down, wearing headbands. Yes, I still wore hats. I don't know if my body was used to pregnancy and postpartum, but the second time I feel like my hair has recovered better and quicker. Now again, this is just what I think has occurred. It might have had to do with my thyroid medication I was on, so I didn't lose hair throughout my pregnancy and postpartum, but this is just my experience that I'm sharing with you. So I wanted to bring you in a little bit closer so you can have a look. So my daughter's 15 and a half, and so this is actually part of my son's postpartum hair loss, so it's actually growing back, which might be a bit hard to see on the camera. But with my daughter, and this is all of her postpartum hair loss here. Now I could bring my hair up and scrunch it all forward. So see how far my hair loss went? It was pretty extreme, and I had it on both sides. Through there, and I had it across the front, so you can see all my little bits growing back here. And then I did have it throughout the top. For a person that I love to style my hair, and it's almost like getting dressed for me. You put on a nice top, I put on my hair with ribbons and accessories, and I feel really good about myself. Postpartum hair loss for me was a really difficult part. You're tired, so on top of the tired emotions, your body has changed, your hair starts falling out, there's all these things that are happening. And for me, the hair was almost like the icing on the cake. It really upset me. I didn't talk about it a lot. My husband knew about it, my mum knew about it. I didn't like talking about it. I went onto YouTube to try and find things, and I found people recommending products and chemicals, and I just wanted to find someone that just said, it's normal, it's part of the process, it does grow back, it's okay to be upset, it's okay to feel, not be depressed over it, but to feel those emotions of losing your hair. In saying this, it is just hair. There are people out there who do have alopecia and they have to wear wigs. They wear wigs to cover it and all those sort of things. Postpartum hair loss, your hair grows back. So at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world, but in the whole scheme of things, going through the birth, whether it was traumatic, if you had a cesarean and you've got the recovery process, the tiredness that a newborn brings, the body changes, body image is a big thing, and I think it's so competitive now to bounce back or not have stretch marks. We get thrown all these things as females, and for me, just the icing on the cake was literally my hair falling out, and I was so upset over it. I don't really care now. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you would know that almost every second or third day I'm literally giving you an update on my postpartum hair loss, because it is just what it is, and I'd love to be able to talk about it more and make mums feel more comfortable about it and know that it is part of it. I have friends that had minimal hair loss. I've had friends that have had similar to me. Mine's probably the most extreme I have seen, but look, it grows back. Go treat yourself to the hairdresser and get a nice hairdo done to try and cover it through the process. Look guys, this is a bit of a short video. I do hope it helped a mum out there who is going through it or who's about to go through it because they've heard of it and they're anxious and they want to know more. In my experience, you just have to go through the steps. It's like your postpartum body, it doesn't bounce back. Let the hormones do their thing. Look after yourself, eat well, get the rest when you can, and your body will recover. Your tummy does shrink, your hair does grow back. I know this can be a really sensitive topic for some people, so if you don't want to leave me a comment below, pop over to my Instagram page, Her Ordinary Mum, drop me a DM. I would love to hear your story. I would love to have a chat to those mums that have experienced the postpartum hair loss and just make it a normal thing to talk about and not feel like we have to wear hats or hair extensions to cover our postpartum journey. It's a tough one. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm going to fix up my hair and wait for my little miss to wake up. So stay tuned for my next video and we'll talk soon guys. Bye.